Hey everybody, it's David Nielsen here with Platinum Idaho Real Estate, and on behalf of our entire team, wanted to just take a quick minute, few minutes, and do a market update for the Treasure Valley. Many of you have been asking, hey, how's the real estate market? And the one word that I have to describe is it's crazy, and it's crazy in a good way. But I want to walk you through some of those numbers and kind of show you what's happening to inventory levels and rising prices, and maybe why that's happening and what we're seeing as the agents in the trenches and in the field working with buyers and sellers. So let's start off here. I want to start with a couple of graphs here showing the Ada County monthly sales units. So generally what happens in the real estate market is sales kind of peak around June and July, and then they taper off towards the end of the year with maybe a little bit of a fall hump, as you can see here. But you look at this, I mean, we've decreased from March to April, probably because of the fear of getting into the pandemic and everything. But ever since April, we've just been increasing, and even from June to July, where unit sales would stay about the same, they've jumped up considerably. And it's even more pronounced when you look at the overall prices. So let's look at this number here, $644 million in 1 month of sales in Ada County, compared to last year, 454. So we're almost $200,000 more in actual sales from this time last year. So that's a huge increase, and that's because prices are increasing. And let me show you how prices are increasing. So this is interesting. This is the Ada County monthly median sales price. And if you look, and they hover all over, traditionally, historically, they kind of bounce around from month to month and, gradually appreciate from year to year. But if you look at just even last month, and I'm looking at, again, the June numbers to July numbers because our August numbers aren't out yet. So those will be next month. But last month in June, $375,000 was the median sales price. And then in July, it jumped up to $390,000. And what that represents is about almost a 4% increase in one single month for homes in Ada County. And if you break that down from the new construction prices remain about the same. They actually decreased just a little bit, which is totally normal. But check out this graph, which is the monthly median sales price for existing homes. So these are this is excluding new construction. We were $360 in the month of June and jumped up to $380 in the month of July. And what that represents is about a 5.5% increase in prices in 1 month period of time. So we don't know what the overall appreciation is going to be for 2020, but what I can tell you is it seems like homes are appreciating at about 1% per month. So that's kind of a big deal when the historical appreciation rates outside of the last few years is at about 3.7 to 4% annually. So anyway, this is pretty interesting. 5.5% in 1 month, or just say 1% a month. That would mean that if you had a $500,000 home, next month it's worth $505,000. The month after that, it's probably worth like $512,000, and the month after that. So if we kept appreciating at this rate. So pretty interesting, but I want to talk to you about what's driving that, and that's supply and demand. There's not a lot on the market. It doesn't mean you can't find a home. Homes still come up, homes are still selling, people are transitioning, and those opportunities are available. It's just definitely skewed towards a seller's market, because what we've seen in years past, in the past 3 years, is that inventory levels during the summertime kind of start to ramp up because people are putting their homes on the market, and sales are pretty regular. Well, what's happening now is that the overall inventory started dropping in May, big drop in June, another big drop in July. And so when we're comparing this to last year, we have probably almost half of the homes are available. Well, actually less than half of the homes, right? Less than half of the homes available than what we had this time last year. That's pretty interesting. And still the sales jumping straight up. So we've got decreased inventory, ramped up sales, not a lot on the market, and therefore prices are increasing. Broken down into new construction, again, big drop in new construction, about half of what it was this time last year. Sales skyrocketing. Existing construction or existing homes. Last year at this time, about 919 homes. This year, 341. So it's almost a third, or a little over a third, maybe 36% of what it was this time last year. So And inventory was really low last year, and now it's really, really low. So that's, and then again, you've got the sales just bumping up. So anyway, in a nutshell, that's what's happening, is there's just not a lot on the market. And probably most of that is due to the inward migration from coastal cities like Seattle and Portland, and especially along the whole California coast. People are just moving inward. I think people are fearful with the unrest. I think people are, still in lockdown, a lot of, restrictions and things in those cities, and just politics and lifestyle changes or whatever, that a lot of people are just wanting out of that and coming to Idaho, where they feel like things are just a little more tempered and a little more sane and a better lifestyle for them and their families. Coming from the East Coast as well, even from like New York and stuff, we're seeing a lot of clients that are coming into this market just to get out at any cost, buying whatever's on the market, and that's pushing inventory levels down and pushing prices up. So what we think the Treasure Valley market's going to do, we're very optimistic. Our feeling is like, my feeling is, as COVID continues on and perhaps even takes a turn for the worse as the flu and cold seasons approach in the fall and winter, I think restrictions might become even tighter, even in our local market, but particularly in these larger cities. And I think people will want to come here. So as COVID maybe gets worse, I think our real estate market will get better. And I feel like we're kind of insulated in that way. I do really believe that there's a day that we're going to, I have hope for everything. There's going to be a day when we see our kids back in school, a day when we can go to the movies and we don't have to wear masks. And I think that day will come. But for now, we are where we're at, but it's driving the real estate market and the prices here in the Treasure Valley way, way up. So if you're thinking of selling your home, now is maybe the time to consider unlocking all of that equity. We're in an election year. Who knows what's going to happen next year? I don't know. That it can sustain continued appreciation. But if you're thinking of selling now, it's a great time to unlock that equity. And then the challenge is, well, where would I go? There still is stuff on the market. There's still stuff that comes up all the time. So I don't want to be negative about that, because I think there are options. But we are especially skilled in navigating that terrain for our clients. Do you have to make a contingent offer? Can we do any way where it's not contingent, so that you're competitive, so that you can get in things? Maybe start seeing some properties so that you have the confidence that you can find something to move into if you do need to transition and move up or move down at this time in your life. So anyway, we're really optimistic about the market. It's healthy. It's definitely a seller's market, and we're super excited. And as always, if you have questions or just want to talk about the market or kind of brainstorm ways to navigate your next real estate transition, we're always here to help. So give us a call, and happy to help in any way we can. All right, take care and have a great week.